it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful soft petal button wrap. This is a chunky lace pattern that's easy to stitch up, and you may recognize this because this was inspired by my lake house wrap, and I'll put the link down below for that if you're not familiar with that pattern. This has a button closure at the top that you can wear kind of asymmetrically like I have it here. You can wear the button in the front. And if you hop over to the Flux blog, I have a whole bunch of photos so you can see all the different ways of how to style it. The chunky lace decorative holes also double up as our buttonholes, so it's very adjustable too. You can kind of even fold it down before you button it, and the width is about 14 inches wide. And it's about 32 inches long. Later on in the video, I'll show you too. If you want to make this into a wrap or a scarf, I'll give you instructions for that as well. So let's get started. For this project, you'll need a large button. I have a coconut wood button here. It's about 1.5 inches wide. And we're going to be using the decorative holes from the lace to double up as buttonholes as well. Just make sure the holes of your button are large enough to pass a tapestry needle through, which brings us to our tapestry needle, and you can just kind of do a little test just to make sure it passes through. You'll also need a 6.5 millimeter K crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and your tapestry needle like I mentioned before, and your yarn. I'm going to be using a yarn called Soft Essentials Stripes by Red Heart. This is very soft and chunky. And I'm going to be using 2 balls of this. So each ball is 110 yards, so 220 yards total. If you need to substitute yarn, just look for a yarn that's a bulky or a 5 on the yarn weight scale, or one that recommends the 6.5 millimeter K crochet hook. The color I'll be using is called Pixie Stripe. It's kind of shades of pinks and some gray and cream as well. So let's get started. So before we begin, I want to mention one quick thing. This project is in response to someone who asked me to make a kind of cowl or a neck wrap version of the lake house wrap. We're going to try it with a self-striping yarn. Now let me grab the lake house wrap so I can show you what I'm talking about. If you follow the Flux blog and the YouTube channel, I did a full video tutorial on this, and it's also been featured in my weekly updates. So we're going to be doing the same stitch, but we're going to make it for the neck instead of a long wrap, so it's going to be a little bit shorter. However, you can also see I used the Soft Essentials solids for this project. This one is going to be self-striping, so we're not going to have to change colors. But if you'd rather do it in solids and make it striped or just all one color, feel free to do that as well. But I wanted to grab this just to kind of show you what it could look like as well with different colors, or if you choose to do stripes too. So to begin our neck wrap, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. Wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop. Bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your hook, bring up the loop and tighten. Our neck wrap has a starting chain of 34. So we're going to work 34 chains. Now, some of you have asked me before, if your chains are too tight when you're starting, just go up a hook size for your chains and then go back down to the K hook for the rest of your project. So 34 chains. So to make a chain, wrap yarn around hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. So here's our starting chain, and once again, you want to make it pretty loose, not too loose. You don't want it to look sloppy or anything like that, but you want it to be nice and loose because you don't want your project to kind of draw in at the bottom. So just make it sort of elastic and loose. Okay, so for row 1, oh, I forgot to mention too, if you want to change the width of your neck wrap, this is a multiple of 4 plus 2 for your starting chain. So go 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 and so on until it's as wide as you want it to be, then add 2 more chains to that. So a multiple of 4 plus 2. Okay, so for row 1, in the 4th chain from our hook, we're going to work a double crochet. So this loop here does not count. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're going to work a double crochet. So this chain right here, wrap yarn around hook, insert it into that chain, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops on the hook. Work a double crochet into the next chain, just like that. Let me just scoot my yarn over. And then in the next chain, we're going to work a double crochet, then a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a double crochet all in that same chain. Okay, just like that. Next, we're going to skip the next chain and work a double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. So double crochet in that chain, double crochet into the next chain. Okay, so we're just kind of setting the stage for the rest of our project. So we're just going to repeat this sequence all the way across. Now let's just do the whole thing across together so we can keep it all straight. So in the next chain, we're going to work a double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet all in that same chain. We're going to skip the next chain, and so this chain here we'll skip, and then work a double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. So 1 and 2. Each of those next chains, we'll put a double crochet in each. Let me zoom in just a little so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so that was our sequence. So then we'll go back to the beginning of our sequence. Next chain, work double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet all in that same chain, just like that. Skip the next chain, work a double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So put a double crochet in that chain and a double crochet in that chain. In the next chain, we'll work our double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet all in that same chain. Whoops, didn't pull him through. There we go. And then we're going to skip the next chain and then work a double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. So work a double crochet in that next chain, double crochet in that next chain. Okay? Let's repeat the sequence again. We're just repeating. See how we're creating these sort of like little peaks across? Okay, so let's repeat our sequence. Let me get a little bit more yarn. As you can see, we just have a few little strands of the pink left, so we're about to change colors. So the self-striping yarn I think it makes projects extra fun because it keeps changing colors on you without any effort on your part, and I think it makes for a fun and interesting project and a making experience as well because it's just kind of doing all that for you. Okay, so let's repeat that same sequence. In this next chain, we'll work our double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, all in the same chain. Skip the next chain, and then in the chain after that, work a double crochet. And then in the chain after that, work a double crochet. And then we're ready to do the sequence again. So work in that next chain, work your double crochet, chain 3, 2, 3, double crochet on that same chain. Skip the next chain. In the next chain, work a double crochet. In the next chain, work a double crochet. Okay, so I think we're able to do this one more time before we're almost to the end here. So what we want to do is in the next chain, do the double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, all in the same chain. And then we're going to skip the next chain, work a double crochet in the next chain, and a double crochet in the next chain. Now normally we would repeat the sequence, but there's only 1 chain left. So in that last chain, you should just have 1 chain left. Just work a double crochet in that very last chain. Okay? So row 1 is complete, and it'll look kind of like this. This is going to be our width. So once again, if you want to change the multiple and make it a little bit narrower or wider, it's totally up to you. But we have all these nice peaks to work into next time. So for row 2, we're going to be doing, it's a little bit simpler. It's going to be less counting of chains. Okay, so for row 2, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn our work. Now, if we look at our row that we did just now, as I mentioned before, we have all these peaks, these little spaces that we've created. These were created by the chain 3s from the previous row, so we're going to call these the chain 3 spaces. If you look on the Flux blog, in the written pattern, I refer to these as the chain 3 spaces. Okay? So in each chain 3 space, now this is our first one of the row, we're going to work 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to work a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a double crochet. And our yarn just changed colors, just as a side note. So it will make this kind of zigzag chunky lace pattern, okay? So let's get a little bit more yarn here. So we're just going to repeat that for each one of these chain 3 spaces. So hop over to the next chain 3 space and work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Then work a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1 double crochet, all in that same chain 3 space. Okay, so now we have 2 of them, okay? Hop over to the next chain 3 space and do the same thing. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Now work 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then a double crochet, all in that same chain 3 space. Hop over to the next chain 3 space, which is right here. Do the same thing. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 more double crochet on that same chain 3 space. Just like that. Okay? And that gray and pink looks so pretty, just as a side note. Okay, now next chain 3 space, repeat the same thing. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet on that same chain 3 space. Okay, we're getting towards the end here. Next chain 3 space here, we're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, then chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet on that same chain 3 space. Our last chain 3 space of the row, we're just going to do the same thing we've been doing. So 1, 2, 3, a little bit more yarn here, then a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then a double crochet on that same space. Okay, so we're out of chain 3 spaces to work into. Okay. And then to finish the row, we're going to work 3 double crochets in this topmost chain of our turning chain. So you can see our turning chain from the previous row. You come up to the top of that turning chain, we're going to work 3 double crochets right into that chain. It seems like it would be a little snug, but it'll definitely fit. So 1, 2, and 3, all into that topmost chain of the turning chain from the previous row. Okay? So row 2 is going to look kind of like this. It looks really nice. Our colors are starting to change already. So we're going to get a lot more striping action as we move along. So to finish up your neck wrap, just keep repeating row 2 over and over and over until it's as long as you'd like it to be. We're going to make it just big enough to just kind of drape nice and loosely and soft around the neck. This is a very kind of loose, soft, flowing kind of neck wrap that will button. So what we're going to do is repeat row 2 over and over until our neck wrap gets a little bit more length to it. So I'm going to keep repeating my row. Now if you want to see row 2 again for the next row you're about to do, just keep backing up until you get the hang of it. And then eventually, you'll memorize it and then keep working. But back it up to the beginning of row 2 as long as you need to do it. So let's repeat row 2 over and over until we get some height on this, and then we'll rejoin in a little while and finish up our neck wrap. Okay, I'm just finishing up the last few stitches of the very last row. I'm putting those 3 double crochets at the end of the row in the top part of this chain right here. So then when you're finished, what you can do is grab your scissors. You can take your hook out. Just pull a little loop so you don't lose your stitch there, and cut the yarn. And then what we're going to do is fasten off. Just like that. Now as you can see, I just have a tiny little bit of yarn left, and what we're going to do is use that to sew on the button. So as you can see, the self-striping yarn made the colors play out beautifully. We have roughly 2 stripes of color for this particular pattern. It worked up to be about 14 inches wide, and I repeated the rows for about 32 inches long. So now we're ready to weave the ends in and add our button. Now if you don't want this to be a button wrap, you could simply get a few more balls of the yarn and keep working to make yourself a nice wrap or a really wide scarf. So I have a couple of threads or ends here. So what we're going to do is just take our tapestry needle and go ahead and thread it. And then when you weave in ends where you have lots of different colors, you want to keep your ends in the same color. So I don't want to weave this end into the gray area or this white area because it'll stick out. So try to keep the pink in the pink area, for example, or whatever color you're using. So I'm just going to go in one direction with my needle, and then come back, pull it through, and then come back here in the other direction to help lock in that tail. Okay, so go ahead and pull it through all the way through, and then take your scissors and go ahead and trim the yarn. Okay, and then that end will be woven in. Repeat this for the rest of your ends. Okay, so when you have your finished piece, after you've woven all the ends in, you'll notice that one edge, the last row you worked, will leave this nice little scallop. And the first edge where you did your starting chain here will be straight. This is going to be the side that we do the button. So we're going to put the button on the straight edge, and then the scallop will fold over and button close so that pretty scalloped edge will show once it's closed. Okay? So what we're going to do is open up your piece like this, and then fold it inward so that that straight edge is on your left, and then fold the scalloped edge over it. Okay? Now in this left top corner right here is where we're going to sew the button. So what you want to do is cut a piece of yarn about 12 inches long, and then thread your tapestry needle. And then we're going to take our button and we're just going to place it where we want it to go. And then take your tapestry needle and come up from the bottom. We're just using a matching leftover piece of yarn. And then we're going to sew it on. Okay, so all you're going to do once you've placed your needle is come up from the back, pull it almost all the way through till you have a little tail, and then come back down, and then just repeat this for a few times. And using this matching piece of yarn will make it look really pretty, and it'll coordinate with the button. And our lace has very large decorative holes, so this large button will fit nicely with the holes, and you can really adjust it and customize it. Okay, so our button is now sewn on. So what we want to do is take the remaining tails and just tie them really tightly. And then what you can do is weave these two ends in or just trim them flush. So I'm just going to trim them like that. Okay, and then your piece will be finished, and you can just kind of button it using any of the lacy decorative holes, and you have a nice wrap. You can wear this sort of asymmetrically, you can wear it like a capelet, you can fold it down like a collar as well. So that is how you crochet the soft petal neck wrap. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again!